What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new, and let's get straight into it. So we're going to go in with Dynamics Bad Enough, and then we're also going to use the color Icy Blue. Those are the two colors we're using today for just the base. I've been dying to get this set out to y'all, so let's get straight into this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with that Icy Blue color, and we're going to start in the middle. Grab you a pretty decent sized bead, and then you kind of want to pat that up towards the top and just take your time doing that so that you can get a nice ombre effect. Now we're going to go in with the nude color Bad Enough. You don't have to encapsulate this in clear, but I did. Please keep in mind that this does have a little bit of a pigment to it. So even though it comes off a little bit more see-through in person, you might want to be careful because it does darken up after the color has dried. So even though I did this clip in real time, I will be speeding up the rest of the acrylic applications so we can get on with the design. I also decided to go ahead and zoom in so y'all can see more of how I work with my acrylic personally. At first, I just kind of wanted y'all to see like how I deal with my monomer and stuff like that. I'm learning that everybody kind of is a little bit different, and then also every monomer is different. So just to be specific, I am using dynamic nails, and they do have a slower drying formula. So at this point, all of the nails are pretty much the same. There is no difference in any of the nails, but we are going to go over each nail with clear. And the clear that we're using today is Dynamic X-Ray Clear. Honestly, y'all, when working with clear, it's just so different with each different brand. I really don't have the best advice for how to work with clear, but I can say to take your time and also, do a practice nail before you start using a different brand of clear. And if you didn't know, now you know. We treat our press-ons over here exactly how we treat our regular full sets. So we're going to do all the filing. We're going to do all the drilling. This is the drill that I use along with the attached dust collector. So really just take your time doing this as well. I'm very heavy-handed, so I had to learn how to be a little bit more light-handed. You can see how hard I'm gripping the nail. But I slowly learned how to be a little bit more light-handed with my file because you really don't have to file heavy and hard. It's just a habit with everything I do. I'm very heavy-handed. I was a braider for a long time. Also a painter. I had to learn how to be a little bit more gentle with my brush. So that's something that I'm still learning. I'm just heavy on the hands, y'all. Also, if you can, please excuse the heavy breathing. I am getting over a cold, so my breathing is a little tough. Also, I'm pregnant, so that just doesn't help on top of me already not feeling so good and having a small cough. So I did end up having to take a break on doing my press-on nails because I don't want to get anybody else sick or spread any germs. So I decided to take like a 2 or 3 day break, give myself time to get over the rest of this cold. Just know that this video was recorded before the voiceover was added, of course. So these nails are at least a week and a half old. Also with my press-ons, I do go over the nail bed area because it can tend to look a little bulky if I don't. Sometimes it doesn't do this, but other times it does. So I just go over it for a little extra precaution, regardless, to be honest with you. And if you're thinking about doing press-on nails, I will say yes, it's a little bit harder on your actual hands because you put a lot of time into trying to grip the nail correctly to keep it on the little stand. So yeah, sometimes the stand gets a little frustrating because it'll come off while you filing or drilling or really even just putting acrylic on it, polishing it. So yeah, that's probably the most aggravating part. So I'm not gonna make it seem all peaches and cream and easy. Nothing about being an entrepreneur is easy anyway. So I will say doing press-ons is real work. So it should be a little bit more respected than what people give it, especially if somebody's doing custom acrylic press-ons. One of the pros about doing acrylic press-ons is that you kind of get to do them in your own quiet space. You get to work at your own pace. You don't have somebody watching you. You don't have somebody moving. So there are, pros to doing it. Also, I always tell people to put in their orders a week ahead of time. So I have a week to even finish your order, and then I have maybe another 1 or 2 days to ship your order out. Now, I do allow people to do, express orders, but they do have to pay an extra fee because you don't just get to skip the line for free, especially because some people actually do really need their orders for like birthdays or, things of that nature, holidays or whatever. So those are some of the pros. Is you kind of get to work at your own time, own pace, things of that nature. I also ended up getting the wrong alcohol, so this is like 91%, but alcohol is alcohol, it doesn't work as good, but it's not the end of the world. But I do go on top of my nails just to make sure they are very, 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 very much clean. That way, when we start to design it, we don't have all this dust all over the nails and stuff like that. And yes, even on the videos where y'all don't see me do this, it's done. So I just want to throw that out there. A lot of times I'll leave out little pieces of what I do because I know y'all want to see, y'all want me to get down and dirty. Like, how did you do the design or how did you do the acrylic? Get to it, So I be trying to just get the videos over with. But this time I wanted to kind of show y'all a little bit more into detail what I do. Now let's get into this designing part. So it boils down to just pretty much lines, different lengths, different widths, different shapes. Some you can make into like a triangle kind of. And then others you can kind of just make a thin line. Some you can start off wide a little bit. It's pretty much up to you how you want your tiger stripes to be. Tiger stripes are very, very, very unique. So I will not try to copy the next person's down to a T. And it also boils down to taking your time because nobody wants to do a bunch of lines over. Like you already have to do a full hand when you're doing a set like this. At this point, this is the design that we are left with, and we're going to take this and top coat it, and then we're going to add a bunch of like rhinestones and charms to it. So I do want to say that every charm that was used for this specific set was from Temu. They were a decent price for the charms, but please keep in mind that charms add up and you only get so many in these assorted boxes, so they need to be replaced. So make sure you're charging your client enough to replace your charms because you don't get those back in those packs. Also, the nail glue that I decided to use today was the dynamic nail glue. That's pretty much what I use most of the time unless I'm using like an off-brand glue that is very thick. And also my wax pen came from Temu as well. So at this point, I feel like I pretty much get the concept of how I do things, how I give myself time to think, how if a charm doesn't go, I'll replace it with another one. I drop charms. I'm not perfect. Sometimes even when you have a wax stick, if the charm is big, it'll kind of give you some issues. So I wanted to show y'all like how it truly is to put on rhinestones and stuff. Because a lot of times I speed up my videos and I also don't get to work with charms a lot. So for these brand ambassador boxes, I really wanted to go out of my way to show my talent. So y'all gonna see a lot of that within the next week or two. And this is pretty much the finished result to these nails. I'm in love with this. Let me know what y'all think.